Welsh tank engine. He has 4 wheels, bright green paint, and 3-tone whistles. He and his engineer Jones Steen work on the branch line that runs along the coast. Every morning, he would pick up passengers from Cullen Central and take them to all the stations along the seaside branch. Between him and Jason, they run passenger and freight along the line, with the occasional ballast being coal from the mines. One day, Ivor arrived at the yard with a ballast train. Hey Puffle! I brought a train of ballast for you!
Hi, Ivor. I'll take care of that.
Oh, hello, Casey. I thought Puffle was on switching duty.
He was called away to pick up freight. I'm doing his job in the meantime.
Ah, I see. How are you doing then?
Pretty good. It's been a long time since I've done switch at the big station, but it's easy enough for me.
I suppose.
Is there something wrong, Ivor?
Well, the thing is, Casey, Ivor here's never done switching before.
Really? You're not having me on, are you?
It's true. Even back on my branch line in Wales, I rarely did so. I've only collected my coaches and trucks, and even that wasn't close to switching.
But you're a tank engine.
I know, but I was never used to it. In fact, just thinking how much switches have to do makes me nervous.
Oh, I see.
I know switching is important for a railroad, and we can't let the bigger locomotives run on tight curves. But all the same, I just feel like I can't do it.
I understand. However, I can assure you that switching is easier than you think. There's always time to learn something new. I'll leave you to think about it.
Alright, Casey. As Ivor made his way back along the branch with his train, Casey's words circled in his smoke box. Casey has a point. I am capable of handling switching duties. But on the other buffer, I'm not used to it. Maybe if I try, I can get used to it. Later that night, he asked Jason for some advice.
Well, my friends and I used to switch trains back in the day. Tank engines were rare at the time.
So you had to switch your trains every time then?
Indeed. Switching is a key part of running a railroad.
I know that, but I'm worried about what could happen if I do try.
Well, many of the locomotives on this railroad have learned how to handle passengers and freight. It's common to see Montana and Dakota running freight trains, or Pete and Tim taking passenger trains. So, who says you can't do switching?
You know, you're right.
You'll gain some experience as well. If a switcher is unavailable, you'll be ready for it.
With that, Jason went to sleep, leaving the Welsh tank with more to think about. The next morning, Ivor made his way to Cullen Central with some boxcars. Just then, Montana pulled in with his train. Morning, Montana. Did Puffle forget to arrange your express?
Of course not. I just went to fetch them in the carrot sheds.
Really? I didn't think you could switch your own trains.
Not exactly. My cars are already in the carrot sheds along with the others. All I have to do is just go to the yard, couple up to them, and simply bring them to the station. Easy as pie.
Ah, I see. So you're used to it.
Indeed I am. Although, most streamliners back in the days would gawk at even shunting their own coaches. But it's what I do and I'm alright with it. By the way, I'm aware that you have never switched trains before. Is that right?
Indeed, uncommon for a tank engine. But do you think if I try, I will get to like it?
Well, you don't have to if you don't want to. but it does help gain experience. Who knows? You might be better at it than you think.
Puffle! Sorry.
That didn't sound good. Indeed, it wasn't. Puffle had an accident. He had derailed while pulling some freight cars. Doc was soon on the scene with the cranes to help clear up the mess.
What happened, Dak?
It would seem as if the points jammed under one of Puffle's freight cars and caused him to jump the track. Fortunately, the impact unjammed them, but in converse, Puffle's front and rear couplers are seriously damaged. He'll need to be in the workshop for a few days until they're repaired.
Well, who will look after the yard?
Not Casey and Tilly. They are busy on the branch, and Emma is busy at the harbor.
Well, I could try.
Are you sure, Ivor?
I will admit, sir, I don't like switching, nor have I done it in a long time. But someone has to look after the yard to keep trains running.
Alright then. I'll talk to Miss Ella and Miss Ortiz. Linus will look after your work in the meantime.
Thank you, Ivor. I appreciated it.
You're welcome, Puffle.
Looks like your chance came sooner than expected.
I'll say. You made a wise decision.
Thanks, Montana. Thanks, Jones. I hope it goes well. After the arrangements were made, Linus went to the seaside branch line, while Ivor stayed in the yard.
Good luck, Ivor. I'll look after your jobs. Don't worry.
Thank you, Linus! Ivor was told to wait for the Yardmaster, as he had the waybills.
Alright. Here are the list of today's trains you have to prepare for the others. Also, when a train arrives, you have to switch the cars quickly. I run a tight schedule.
Right, sir. I'll be honest, I don't like the idea of doing it quickly.
I know, old boy. But we're here and we have to do it.
For the rest of the morning, Ivor looked after the yard as best as he could. He got all the trains prepared, and the others told him how well he was doing. This made him very pleased. By lunchtime, everything had run like clockwork, and Ivor and Jones were resting before going back to work. I must say, this wasn't as bad as I thought it would be.
Indeed. But remember, more trains are coming, and we better get them ready.
Righto.
Well, hello there, my bestest buddy, pal, chum, friendo, switcher, Ivor. I've got some freight cars in the back for you, compliments of the yard just down the line.
Thank you, Baltimore. Leave the train there. I'll handle them.
Thanks.
Right, let's get these sorted.
Oi, Ivor. I'm in a bit of a hurry. Please switch my freight cars for me.
Wait, Pete, Oh, father whales. Ivor didn't get it easier after that. More trains arrived, and this only added more weight to the Welsh tank's struggles. Soon the sidings were disorganized and the trains began to be delayed. No matter how hard Ivor tried, he couldn't keep up. By the end of the day, the Yardmaster spoke with Ivor. He wasn't happy.
I got slammed with phone calls. Each one about several delays due to freight cars being on the wrong sidings and others on the wrong trains. I hope Puffle comes back soon. He can put this yard right.
Yes, sir.
Hello, Ivor. How was your day?
Rough.
You got caught up by extra workload?
Yes, and to be frank, I'm not looking forward to tomorrow.
I hope things go well for him.
The next morning, Ivor took some loaded hoppers from the coal mines and made his way to the yard again.
Here's today's wayways for the trains you have to arrange. And this time, don't screw it up.
Yes, sir.
Morning, Ivor. You alright?
Not really, Casey.
What's the matter?
I had trouble with switching duties yesterday, and the trains were delayed. The moment I'm assembling a train, another one arrives. It's a never-ending cycle.
Oh.
This is why I don't like shunting. There's just too many things to do.
I see. I can't assure you that it's not easy on the first try. What we have to do is to keep learning. But you know what I learned when I started handling French and mainline trains?
What?
Never give up. That's another thing about being a switcher. You gotta prioritize the trains you're arranging. That way you can do more with less. If you overwork yourself, well, you know what happens.
Yeah, I do.
I'm on relief duty today. I can teach you in the meantime.
That would be a great help. Thanks, Casey. The two locomotives were set to work. Casey Jr. gave Ivor some words of advice, and slowly but surely, Ivor began to adapt to it. Eventually, Casey was called away, and Ivor was left alone in the yard. This time, he got all the trains sorted in a timely manner. The sidings were organised and the trains ran to time. Even the Yardmaster was pleased with Ivor's performances. By the end of the day, he spoke kindly to the Welsh tank.
Well, Ivor, I must say you made up for yesterday's loss. Well done.
Thank you, sir.
Also, I'm sorry for getting cross with you yesterday.
Oh, it's alright. I'm just happy to know it all worked out in the end.
That's good to hear. Keep up the good work.
Great job, my boy. I knew you could do it.
Thanks, Jones. And thank you, Casey. I couldn't have done it without you.
You're welcome, Ifor. Anything for a friend.
Ivor continued looking after the yard for the next few days, and it became easier for him as time passed. Eventually, Puffle returned from the shops, and Ivor went back to his branch line. He felt like a different locomotive now. He had gained a newfound respect for switching. At times, he would even start to switch his passenger and freight cars. Whenever he delivered his trains to the yard, he would always say one thing. I may not like switching, but next time, I'll be more than ready for it.